Right, well that makes it officially 1:15, so I will kick things off. I've just had this slide here at the beginning. If you do want to play along in the web browser, want to view along, you're more than welcome to. So you can join as guest, go to hellosmart.com and join as guest, and there's the code there, 50244. I'm just going to put that in the chat again, and it's 50244. If you want to join that way, you don't have to, but it is there. So, slightly different. I haven't got the board behind me. I'm not singing, dancing, or waving my hands today, because this is a special kind of one-off, very much a testimonial from Pheasey Farm Primary School. So, and they're looking at how that Smart is integrated with their Microsoft as well, and doing it really well with their distance learning. So, before I introduce Peter and Sarah, I will just say in the chat box, if you just slightly change it, where it says everyone, if you change it to all panelists and all attendees, then everyone will be able to see that, and we can just look at each other's questions and answers, and I'll be keeping an eye on those as well as some other people as well, just to give you as much support as well from that. So feel free to chat away, or of course, obviously email us afterwards if you want to as well. And right, let's jump on forward here. So I will very quickly introduce myself as Mark Hartwright. I'm professional development for Smart here in the UK. I was a former teacher and Smart Contemporary educator. More importantly today, we're joined by two other fantastic panelists today. Peter, do you want to just take a moment to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Peter Claxton, former teacher, advisor, working for Smart on education strategy at a UK and global level.
Thanks, Peter. Sarah.
Hi everybody, I hope you're all well. My name's Sarah Morgan. I'm teacher at Pheasey Farm Primary School. I'm assistant head and I'm ed tech manager at the moment.
Awesome, thanks Sarah. And you can see that Sarah's got quite a few things under her belt as well at the moment, so fantastic. Right, so as I said, Sarah is from the Pheasey Farm, who we're going to hear from massively today. So if I just jump you through onto the next one, looking at kind of why we're here, a bit of an objective today. You can see my contact details at the top, so any other questions, feel free to either put them in the chat box or ask me afterwards, feel free to that as well. But it's very much just to share the experience of how Microsoft, School can successfully use that smart learning online, which is smart software, which is based on the cloud, and how it's being used at Sarah's school to implement distance learning and a blended learning approach. So, no pressure there, Sarah. No, it's fantastic. Can you just take us a moment just to go over kind of what your school is and a bit of that background stuff you can see on the slide there? That's okay?
Yeah, so we're a large primary school. We've got 3 form entry. We have children from a range of backgrounds. We have used technology to inspire our learning for probably the last 5 years now. We've built on our skills and we use it as integrated into our learning. The children are becoming fluent with their skills throughout the school, building on it year by year. The teachers are becoming more familiar with it, and we are at a good point with our technology, ready to move to this online distance learning, and that's where I'd like to share with you today.
Awesome, thank you very much. I've also just put in there that you're an EdTech training school as well, so it's not just Smart and Microsoft, it's very much whole EdTech solution. You support obviously yourselves and the community and other schools around you as well.
We do, yes.
Great. Super. Peter, shall I hand it over to you?
Yeah, thank you very much, Mark. As I say, Sarah, we've been having a look at the sort of questions we've been receiving and questions people have been asking. And I think a couple of things to everybody on the call or to people listening to the call, if you're not listening live. Remember, everything we talk about applies to primary and secondary schools. We're also really going to be focused on a school here that is doing brilliant stuff with Microsoft and also with our smart solution. And the solution Mark used at the beginning when he asked if some of you wanted to join is Smart Learning Suite Online. So this is really a way that you can drive blended learning, and that's what we're going to talk a little bit about with Sarah now. Two things to think about. I saw, watching news this morning, 700,000 pupils, they reckon, in the UK are actually having no form of learning at all at the moment, which is a staggering number. And if we look at that globally, and this was some data I saw the other day, there are, 1.52 billion children across the globe who have experienced some form of school closure. So these are staggering numbers. And maybe I'm going to lead off, Sarah, by asking you to tell us a little bit about what you've been doing at Pheasey Park. I'm going to sort of interrupt a little bit, so don't think I'm rude, Sarah. And, we've got limited time today, but yeah, tell us what you're doing, how you've been engaging with the pupils, and how you're continuing to do that in these times.
Okay, so how we've looked at engaging our learners through this lockdown period, we've chosen a blended approach. We are a Microsoft school and we do integrate the smart solutions. We have a learning platform which the children use as a doorway to their virtual school. They do that with using a login. Once they've logged in, they get to a year group homepage, which is full of really exciting resources that we've put on there to try and hook them into their learning. I can talk about that more later. From their homepage, they then access their personalised Microsoft OneNote page through logging on. There they are greeted with a welcome each morning from their class teacher. And they have some sort of written direction or an audio feature telling them what they will be learning about today. They then have a link from their OneNote to take them to Smart Learning Suite Online, where they will access their personalised digital learning file. We affectionately call that a wrapper. The wrapper is something that the teachers create for the children. It is where I'd say we put like our big bulky bit of content, the meaty part of teaching, the content, the stuff that the children need to learn that day, whatever they're going to cover. It is the beauty of using this project is that we can add attachments, we can add links, we can add everything that we need to teach that lesson can all be wrapped up safely in one place. The children are very familiar with that format. We use it in class across the school. So the children are using that from reception all the way through to 6. We personalise it with our school logo. We colour code it. So for example, an English lesson has a blue background. This helps all children know the familiarity of it. And parents have comment back to us that having that comfort, having that familiar setting has really helped children at home. They feel that comfort. I think it's important for us at this time to make things as normal as possible for our children at a time when the world is anything but normal. So we've really tried to use that while we've been personalising this approach for the children. So they get their bulky teaching, they look at what they've got to do. The teacher might put modelling on there or showing them examples of how they want to do things, and they've got their content. They then move from Smart Learning Suite Online back to Microsoft OneNote, where they will have to use that learning, use that knowledge to complete some activities on the OneNote page for the teacher. And that is how they access the learning side of it. It's asynchronous teaching, so it's self-paced. They can come back to it, they can have a go, they can come back to it later, they can change things. Then each day, the teacher then leaves them some feedback. The feedback can be used from the audio clips to them. So parents again have fed back to us that they like hearing our voices. It's very comforting, it's reassuring. We give them personalised stickers because we've got that feature on OneNote. Also, we give them feedback. And just a very quick example, the power of it. I had a little girl who I was working with. I set her a task. She didn't quite get it. She had a go, her answers were close, but not quite. I was able to give her feedback on the OneNote page. She then logged back on the next day, answered what I'd set her. She had another go. She was even closer, but she still didn't quite get it. So then I gave her some more examples, some more feedback on OneNote, third time round from accessing the same page, she then got it, and I can confidently say that she, you know, whatever the concept was, she now knows it, and she didn't know it before logging on. So I know it's working, it's having an impact on the children. So that's how we're engaging them in an asynchronously style teaching.
Thank you, Sarah. And, you know, that integration between Microsoft and the smart software, has that been something that's been easy for the school to implement?
Yes, it's something that's worked really, really well. It's something that has been put through the school, and we're able to use it in all the years, and the teachers are confidently able to use that, and more important, the children are able to switch from one to the other and back again. So it has been really easy for all.
And I think your mention of feedback is really a key point as well. There's a lot of teaching going out to children, and I see with my own children, but actually getting that feedback back and seeing what they're doing, that seems to be a critical piece of the jigsaw that you've implemented well. Would I be right?
Oh, definitely. It's the most powerful tool. I think for the child to know that they're doing something, not for the sake of just doing it and nobody's ever going to see it, loses its quality, especially now we're in week 10 of lockdown, are we? Week 11. I think to ask a child to keep on doing something and never get any feedback must be a bit demoralising. So for us, not only can we inspire, motivate, push the children on to do more, we can pick up those children who might need like quick fixes or might have just misread something. We can fix it, which is great for us, because, you know, when the children do return, we're going to have a starting point and know where these children are, which is great.
Brilliant. And can I move on and sort of, and we've started to touch on this a little bit, you know, what sort of feedback are you getting from the students, parents, head teacher, teachers themselves? Really interested to hear a little bit about that as well.
Yeah, the feedback from the children has been really positive. We have little messages sent through because we have a discussion page set up, and they will let us know that they like the personalised stickers. They will let us know that they appreciate the audio comments that we've sent to them. They put that I like learning, Miss. This is fun. I like this one, Miss. Can we do more? So it's the child voice is very apparent, very powerful, and we take it on board and we go with it. You can see some of the feedback there. We do synchronous teaching to engage our children as well. So we give them live activities and live teams teaching lessons as well. So they have a complete mixture of teaching styles to engage them, and we do think that approach is really, really good. And I've mentioned parental feedback already, but it has been very positive, and I think what the parents have really appreciated is that we took the time to set up like a Hotmail, a problem-solving email account. So if they do have any technical glitches or they need support, they've got a dedicated email account where they can get through to our technician, who can then phone them, speak to them, or direct them through to just to help them with those little problems that might crop up, because we didn't want anything to deter them from getting online. So we knew that was really, really important. And I appreciate that.
That's really powerful. And I think you've given us some quotes as well from the head teacher. Just wait.
Yeah. We've got Mrs. Lanny, our executive head teacher. She has the vision. She knows where she wants us to go and drive forward with our ed tech, and she can see the strengths, the positives, and the impact that it's having with the striving.
And the word you used there that we see time and time again with schools that are doing ed tech really well is having the vision.
Definitely, I think this is really important.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll move on again because I know we're short of time, and Mark will get fidgety if we run over the time.
Too right.
So I guess lots of people are on this call, and I'm seeing some of the chat coming in, who you know, they're probably thinking, whoa, what about the professional development? How's this happened? You know, how's the school continuing that at the moment? So really interested to get a little angle on that as well during this call.
Yep. So what we've done, we've set up an ed tech team here, which consists of 4 teachers who are smart exemplary educators. So we work together to take the head teacher's vision forward, and we use each other as a team. So we will test things on each other, we will run ideas by each other, we are each other's friendly critique. So anything that we've got an idea of, we'll run it by each other, and we will tell each other honestly whether we think it's going to work or not. We will trial it before we take it to the next layer of staff. Once we're happy with it, we will then cascade it down to our year leaders. Our year leaders will then be trained. Once they're happy and they've put it out to the children and everything, we've asked those to then train up their team. So it's very much like an empowerment to all staff. We're conscious that confidence levels with ed tech can sometimes be a little bit different through staffing, so we have put more support in for some staff if we need it. We do that by making video clips of things that they might need, or doing handouts. We've also put in a buddy system across school, which has been really powerful. So every teacher has got a buddy. It's their safe place. So if they're reading a story, for example, for the children, we're uploading that. It's great just to be able to run it by your buddy and just say, can you just check that before I put it out there for the world to see? And so the teachers have found comfort in that. And they've got to say, we've got a great team of staff, like all teachers are. All teachers just give more, and that's what I find really humbling as you're working with the staff.
Brilliant, and I do love the buddy system you talk about, and I think, having visited your school, I'm always amazed because I turn up and we see technology being used across the school classes, and now in this new COVID-19 world, you know, you've adapted that to this blending learning approach.
Yeah, definitely.
Brilliant. I'm going to move on to one question. I'm just waiting for Mark to catch us.
Yeah.
And really, what I'd like to ask you, because clearly there's lots of people on the call that may not have been exposed to Smart Learning Suite Online, to the smart software. They're listening to this thinking, wow, how can I use that? I can see questions about special education needs. So there's going to be a lot of questions and a lot of information for people to take on board. I guess my big question to you is, if there's one bit of advice you'd give to people listening, or people who haven't put their toe into the water or haven't really looked at this, what would that one piece of advice be?
I think it's really hard to choose one, but I think the vision that we've already mentioned, getting your head teacher's vision and where they want it to go, what they would like it to look like, is really key. And on top of that, try not to go it alone if you can help it, even if you're in a very small setting. Have another person, because the ed tech team, for me, I mean, we're a very large primary school. We've got 700 plus children. So we had a group of 4 teachers who are working together. That has been really powerful, because of the idea that you can share things with each other, and technology's always new. There's always something else to try. So to have somebody else to go through that with you and to test it on, does build your own confidence before you then try and train a team of staff. So that would be the crux of it. But I would also say, be confident, give yourself time, play with technology and have fun, because if you can feel what the technology gives, it's going to really help you empathise with what other teachers and other children can get from it as well. So give yourself time as well.
Brilliant, thank you. And I know time is what we don't have today, but I do want to really say thank you. I know this is an incredibly busy time for teachers, and even as an ex-teacher, I now realise how hard teachers work with 8-year-olds. And I really want to thank you. I'd like you to thank the head teacher for giving you time to come and talk with us. I can see lots of good questions coming in. So I'm going to finish at this point. I will just add to everybody, because I can see some of the questions here, that you know, this product works with Google, it works with Microsoft, with Zoom, and it's also primary, secondary. But I'm going to hand back to Mark, maybe just to do a quick wrap. Mark, have you got any comments to add or questions particularly that we'd like to maybe ask Sarah that have come in on the chat box?
Yeah, firstly, I'll just say the same, Sarah. It's always fantastic about hearing about how well you're doing there and how good it is for the kids as well. So thanks for that. What I would say, Sarah, I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit here. Why did you choose to carry on using Smart, the online version, rather than just going straight into OneNote?
For us, we have got a really good relationship with Smart, and we've used it for a long time, so the children are very, very familiar with it. What we like is the activities as well that go along with the use of the Smart Learning Suite online, that the children again are very familiar with because we use them in the classroom, and because for us our wrappers are so powerful, and we upload them to the Smart Learning Suite online so that the children can easily access them, and it's just a very trusted way of doing it for us.
Yeah, we had a quick run through this with everybody, with Sarah, and Sarah did kind of say to the same thing. It's that trusted way that the school, because I've been to the school as well, and the school are very familiar with that. So obviously the teachers are familiar with using Smart and using Smart Notebook. And we spoke before about how easy it is to take your Smart Notebook lessons that the children are familiar with, and it's like that familiar setting which we're not all at the moment, and just drag and drop and put that online. And then the children are still seeing the same, even just the same color background. And then the teacher's learning journey is almost just drag and drop, put it in here. And then your way of delivering it is slightly different. But actually that content and the familiarity that we're used to, it still transitions across the two. So thanks for that, Sarah. But yeah, I mean, I know you're using Notebook. I put in the chat, it's very much your workbook, your logbook stays within Notebook. Yeah. And then your activity and your teaching whiteboarding like style sits in Suite Online.
Yeah, and it complements each other well.
Yeah, good. I've got a few about how being able to ink as well. And obviously with the Smart Learning Suite Online, you can ink, and the two-way inking, whether that's, we've looked on previous videos, so I'm going to put this on YouTube afterwards. So if you'll get a reminder about where it is online as well. If you look at previous videos, it'll show how to ink on the board. It'll also show how to ink when you're doing with the students, whether you're putting in separate groups, and be able to ink within groups, give teacher feedback to that particular group, or whether it's to set out the whole individual handouts where you can go in and just edit, like Sarah said, you can edit with their work and give that instant feedback as well if you are doing it synchronously as well. This is all sitting online. You can see it's just in a web browser. Say a Smart Learning Suite Online sits with any web browser. It works on any device as long as it's got a web browser on it. We'd recommend Chrome, but again, it works on anyone, whichever way you wish to do that. And it sits within a browser, so there's no download. You can use it on a Chromebook or anything like that. But then the Smart Notebook is the desktop version, which sits on your desktop. Slightly different, but they kind of talk to each other in a good way. I think that's answered most of those there. And
I think we'll, you know, we're happy to contact people for people to contact us. I think you've got some contact details, haven't you, Mark?
Yes. Yeah, that links. Thanks, Peter. That's a nice, easy link to the next one. Someone's seen my slides before. Yes, very much a challenge for you here is that takeaway. We've seen the story today. We've heard Sarah's kind of end game, if you like, that a lot of us kind of aspire for. But what have you learned from it today? Hopefully something. And how can that be implemented within your school? How can it make a difference to your teaching, give difference to the pupils that are in front of you or not in front of you? And if you do want support with that, obviously from the Smart side of things, I'm more than happy to help any way I can. I know they've seen quite a lot of that in there. I've got my email address there, and obviously Sarah's put hers down there as well, if you want more explanation of that. I know Sarah does offer training. Like she said, she is an ed tech facilitating, I can't remember the exact title, sorry, Sarah. And if you want to have a discussion about the wrappers, they do offer training with that. Essentially, a digital wrapper is just a way of putting all your things you need for the lesson. That's teaching it, that's delivering it, that's learning from it, that's video links, everything you want in one place, so it's easier to deliver and easier to receive from the students. So there's that challenge. And I will say it'd be lovely to hear from you, either emailing directly or posting some stuff online. Smart are available on all social channels, so feel free to tweet to Facebook or to Instagram, anything you wish. So thank you very much for joining us. We're going to hang around for the next few moments just to answer any questions, so feel free to pop those, carry on the chat. A week tomorrow, week on Thursday, we're going to continue with the Smart Learning Suite Online, the Smart Online training, and it'll be in front of the board again. I'm going to be looking at trying to play catch up with our English and mathematics at the moment. Obviously, some children at the moment are coming back into school. Some of them absolutely fantastic work at home and have made great progress. Others need a little bit of catch up. So how can we use a smart solution to support you as a teacher, you as an educator, and others as learners as well? So we're going to look at that. Or of course, we do offer bespoke training packages where I can either set up a webinar like this for yourselves for just a one-on-one, or we can set it up for the whole school, or fingers crossed when times are beginning to change, come out and actually support you in your community, in your school, in your setting as well. So I'm just going to jump back up to where it says questions and look back down the chat box. So thank you very much, everyone, for joining. Thank you so much for Peter, and massive, massive, massive thank you to Sarah as well for all the hard work you're doing and joining us today as well. So thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Denise, quick question there. It says, can anyone talk me through doing the basics, putting together a smart notebook lesson? You can download Smart Notebook, and that's a free download. You can just Google Smart Tech Notebook 19. Free. We are offering a free trial for that as well for everyone. So you can download that and start using it. To be honest, it's similar to setting up a PowerPoint where you can drag images in from the web and put in your own content. Start learning that. If you go to Smart Support YouTube channel, there's lots of little bits of video if you want to have a look at that, or email me directly and we'll send you a few training links to that as well to get you started. Or drive up to Scotland and give you a hand. Lots of thank yous for everybody, that's brilliant. And there are some, if you look at the Smart Exchange, so again, Google Smart Exchange, there's lots of templates, there's lots of pre-made lessons. I think Pheasey have put some of their content up on there as well. And more than welcome to download those lessons as a kind of, oh, this is how to do it, some good examples, or just as a, here's a template along the top with some squared paper in the background as a starting point. Simon's just to put a comment in the chat as well. There's a blended learning website, which is full of information for yourselves, for parents, for teachers, some really good links and some really good training videos on there as well. Lots of thank yous, so you're welcome with everybody that. Again, if I haven't answered the question on there, if you scrolled through the chat and I've missed it, my apologies. Do feel free to email me directly, markhartright@smarttech.com, and we'll go from there. Lots of thanks, Peter. Sarah, are there any closing comments from yourselves?
No, not for me. You know, we're here to support you in what are unprecedented times and to, you know, help the teachers and the children. That's where I'm coming from.
Super. Like I alluded to earlier, that we're doing this one over Zoom. I ran a training session this morning over Teams. I was speaking to Seesaw, there's a comment in the chat. Yes, we can work through Seesaw. You can post a link and then you can put the lesson in Seesaw as well. There is a video of how Smart Learning Suite Online works with Seesaw Online. It is done by our North American colleagues. I won't add comments to that, but it's a really, the content of it is brilliant. So it does work alongside with that as well. Paul, I can see you've missed the beginning, no problem at all. I'm going to post this on YouTube and it'll be up probably tomorrow. and you'll have a reminding email saying it's here available, as well as other ones we've done in the series as well.
Or you can join us at 3:40 this afternoon.
Too right, Peter. We're going to do exactly the same thing at 3:40, so you can join us there and listen to similar things then.
Okay, so I'm going to jump off now.
Okay, thank you very much, Peter.
Questions, as I need to go back to another webinar. Thank you, Mark. Thank you,
Peter.
Sarah.
Thank you.
I'm just going to read this one here. Ed Hall down in Cornwall. Yes, it should be easy for you to sort out as well. Give it a go and let us know if you need any support with this, and we'll hear for you. Rob, you said, are we meeting other days? This was just a quick snippet into Sarah's school and the fantastic work she's doing there. And then these webinars will be continued as a training session of getting you started and how you can begin to use it and point you in the right directions, or just a chat and answer session as well. If you've got any actual questions, Rob, then feel free to email them to me. Right, I think we're beginning to drop off. So there's a few. Good, I'll book you in, Rob. Oh, good to see you soon. Martin, I see you've raised your hand. If you want to pop a question in the chat or email me directly, then you're more than welcome to have that there. I think they're slowing up, Sarah. I think I might press pause on everyone. Oh, can I use the same ID? Yes, you can, Paul, later on. Pretty much word for word. We're trying to do exactly the same later on. So yes, you can join later on and do that. The same ID for Zoom. It's not the same Zoom ID for later on. Let me just find it somewhere on my phone and I'll put it in the chat just in case you want to join. Or you can register for that one as well. In fact, I'll put the registration details. Yeah, sorry, Paul. I know it wasn't Zoom. bits.ly. That web link there will take you to a registration page for this afternoon's webinar as well. It will be the following sessions that are happening at lunchtime will be the same link, but if you join for the 3:40 one, it's a slightly different link. Smart board, so those activities, because we're running this online, these will all be available for iPads as well. It works on any device. So Smart Notebook is now, there's a desktop version, but there's also Smart Learning Suite online, which are available to work, and that will work on iPads as well. Right, I think I'll wave goodbye to you, Sarah, as I know you've got a busy day and you've got lots on ahead of you as well. So thank you so much, Sarah, for joining us and all that valuable chat, and I look forward to carrying on our chat this afternoon.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Thanks, Sarah. Bye. And I'm going to pause it for everybody else as well. So there's lots of thanks coming in, so you're more than welcome to that. Like I said, if any other questions, feel free to email me directly, markhartright@smarttech.com. You'll have that in your registration details anyway. And if not, I look forward to meeting you again next Thursday. We'll look at catch up with maths and English, or this afternoon. So thanks very much for coming, everybody. Hope that's been useful, and we'll talk again soon. Thanks. Bye.